Hey guys,
Hi, Paul!
Paul from Ashen Phoenix. It is New Comic Book Day for the week of March 6th. We're going to get started right now.
Now!
This episode brought to you by Shirts.
Still?
Yeah, still.
Oh.
We don't have any real sponsors, so we have to just keep making up our own.
Oh.
It's like this for the comic book store.
I know other people. Do you want us to have another fake sponsor?
I mean, we can have... This episode brought to you by Capes and Scowls.
Hey, I'm sponsoring an episode!
They talk about capes, and they scowl.
We do. I love capes that have high collars. They keep the cold draft off your neck.
And he scowls because he doesn't like the cold.
I don't. Grr.
Check him out.
Hey guys, Tim from Capes and Scowls. I'm here to talk about things that you may or may not care about, but I'm going to do it regardless. Let's talk about the trades. I've got Wicked and Divine, volume 8. I don't know why that was so hard for me. We've got Kill 6 Billion Demons, volume 3. This will be gone in 10 seconds tomorrow. We've got X-Men Red, volume 2. X-Men, hooray. We've got The Walking Dead, volume 31. When's the last time something got up to 31 volumes? It's been a while. Pretty impressive. We've got Essential Edition JLA, New World Order. This is Grant Morrison's run, question mark? Things I don't know. Yes, Grant Morrison's run, which is very beloved. It's a good thing to read. It's got a different Justice League. Aquaman has his little spear hand, and Kyle Rayner is the Green Lantern. We got Wildstorm Volume 3. This is almost finished. There will be one more trade, and that'll be complete. We've got Justice League Dark. Everybody loves Justice League Dark. Paul, you love Justice League Dark?
Never read it.
Never read it. We've got The Last Siege. This is a really thick one for $20. Seems totally worth it. We've got Fantastic Four Volume 1, the Dan Slott run. It's okay. We've got X-Men Black, which is J. Scott Campbell art, and I know Paul loved a bunch of these stories, especially the Mojo one. And finally, we've got Batman and Harley Quinn. This is newer stories, I believe, written by people who worked on the animated series comic book. It looks cool. Hey guys, also out now, we've got Ghostbusters action figures. The real Ghostbusters. This is Ray. You need Ray in your life. You could get Venkman, you could get Mr. Stay Puft, but you don't want him. You want Ray, because Ray's the best. That's maybe true, I don't know.
First up, we have Batman issue number 66, which I confused with Batman 66. Because we were doing books and it was tough. This is a really interesting book. We are still trapped in the mind of Batman. And this entire book is just a question and answer period of the question, talking to Selina. It's a really interesting style. The art is different. It's by a man named Jorge Fornes, but Tom King still does an amazing job. Despite there being a lack of Batman or a lack of real action, it was an interesting book to pick up. I wasn't a huge fan of the art, but it very much fit this very noir style that this issue was going for. So definitely check this one out.
All right, it's time for my first book. Did I like it? Kind of. We've got Ziggy and Silly Seal Comics #1. It's a one-shot. These are old Marvel humor characters from the 40s. I believe 1946 is what I read. Basically, it's just a very silly, odd, weird book. Silly Seal is this guy, and this guy is the pig. He's Ziggy. Ziggy has fallen on hard times. He is a complete jerk, and nobody likes him, where Silly Seal has become a bazillionaire, and he's quite successful. And Ziggy is trying to get back on his feet, and he does things like go to a Comic-Con, which is great, because there's a lot of obscure Marvel characters there, like Brute Force. Yeah, cameo by Brute Force. That's pretty impressive. And Obnoxio the Clown, and all kinds of dumb things. Basically, this book is a very dumb-on-purpose book, and it's a lot of fun. And if you know a lot of your Marvel history and some of the weirder corners of it, you'll probably appreciate it a little more. If you're just a casual kind of fan of Marvel, or you're new to it, I don't know that you'll enjoy this as much, but, you know, it's a dumb kind of, dumb for dumb's sake kind of story. There's a nice reference to Space Punisher, which is one of the worst books I've ever read. Sorry, Frank Thierry, who also wrote this. I don't like Space Punisher. You can't make me.
Next up, we have Die, issue number 4. This is almost my pick of the week. I love this book so much, but there was just one book I loved a little bit more. Kieran Gillen's and Stephanie Hans are just doing amazing work on this. The group is still trying to get to the Game Master, their friend Soul. They are stopping at this very mythic domed city. Kind of like, it feels a little Doctor Who on this one with Gallifrey, but it's so good. It's a very low pace compared to the last issue, but oh man, this one makes you hurt. This whole issue makes you hurt worse than the last one did. They really do feel the despair going on there, and now that everything is slowed down, they start to realize it's like, oh yeah, we still have lives outside of this game. Like, there's still stuff that we have to return to, and how is that going to react to us being gone for even a little bit of time? So it's definitely the book to pick up. It's only 4 issues in. The trade should be coming out pretty soon, because I'm assuming there's only like 1 or 2 issues left of this arc.
Comes out in May.
Oh, it comes out in May. So if you have missed this, don't worry about it. In May, you'll get your chance to get the trade, and you should pick that up. And if you are current, you need to pick up this issue.
You can order it in the new previews.
You can order it in the new previews.
I did.
See, there's a preview guide, and they have books that you can like order. You should do that.
It helps your store.
It does help your store a lot, because it knows that they sold comics.
All right, next up we have Astro Hustle from Dark Horse. This screams me like a lot. The art is amazing. It's very like a simplified style, but it is the colors by Ursula Decay. Good Lord, what a great name. Points, 20 points for your name. That's an amazing name. It's the colors that really sell it. Basically, this story is about a young man who has come out of a cryo sleep, and he's related to one of the most wanted people there has ever been, and he is trying to just figure out what happened. Why was he asleep 60 years? And it just feels like a very 80s, 70s kind of sci-fi story. I really like it. But yeah, it's a lot of over-the-top violence at times, a lot of deep storytelling. I don't know that it's going to be for everybody, but just damn that colors, Ursula Decay. You're my new favorite colorist. Take that, Jordi Belair. You did nothing wrong, Jordi Belair. You did nothing wrong. You're so good too. But you're not Ursula Decay, which if that's your real name, that's even more points. It's like 12 points.
All right, my pick of the week is Spider-Man issue number 16 HU. Apparently, they're changing the numbering system. This is Hunted. This is part of the Craven storyline. With very little Spider-Man in it. It's been kind of a theme where like all the main characters are not in the books this week. This is a Black Cat, very heavy issue. For those who don't realize what happened, probably about 6 issues ago, Peter revealed who he was to Black Cat, thus shattering the spell, at least for Black Cat, for Brand New Day. And now this issue is basically her trying to settle a debt, but at the same time, reliving all of those memories that she forgot about because of the Brand New Day spell. It was really good. The art is amazing, even though it isn't Nick Spencer. It is, I can't remember who it is, but I mean, obviously Nick Spencer. This is Iban Coelho. Iban Coelho. I'm going to say it in Spanish because that's kind of how it's supposed to be. And then Edgar Delgado color. It's reminiscent of Jorge Ramos, but I really like the story. I really like this art. I didn't think I was going to because I'm always kind of like anti non-Ryan Ottley stuff in this book because I feel that Marvel really needs to stop with this twice monthly stuff because it really does stress out the artists and the writers. But this was really, really good. And this one is definitely one you should pick up. It's a brand new arc, so if you haven't been reading Spider-Man, you can jump right in and not really miss anything.
All right, it's time for my pick of the week. And what could it be, Paul? What do you think? What do you think? You've got this scared look on your face.
Oh, I do.
I put you on the spot.
Not X-Men.
It's not X-Men, but it is Star Wars Vader Dark Visions. This is a cool concept for a series. I assume it's going to be a bunch of one-shots that loosely maybe fit together. But this is about a young boy who is on a planet that is being terrorized by a giant monster, essentially, that just keeps killing the villagers, and they have to live underground. Meanwhile, up in the skies, up in space, Vader is killing rebel scum, like you always do. And his ship gets damaged, his TIE fighter, so he goes down to the planet and awaits the retrieval and the ship's repairs. And while he's down there, he encounters this giant monster, and he has to try to slay it. The boy, against better judgment, stays out, and instead of fleeing underground, and he watches Vader fight this monster and nearly dies like 20 times. But the basic idea of the series is the other people's point of view of Vader and how this boy witnesses him fighting this monster and how he envisions him. He envisions him like this black knight sent from the heavens to fight this monster, because Vader is not the worst thing he's ever seen. This monster has just killed everybody he knows. A lot of the people he knows. He knows other people. But this book was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed it. The next issue seems to be from the point of view of like an Imperial cadet who is terrified of Vader because he knows he'll murder him. So that looks really cool. It just seems really cool. And the story was fun. It was Dennis Hopeless. So good on you. And you should read it because it was fun. So do it. All right, everybody, it's the end of the video. Calm down. The video's over. I'd like to thank everybody who made today's comics, whether they were good or bad, because that's what keeps the world turning. Right, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares, right? Comics. Comics.
Get your comics.
Get your comics,
Get your
kids.
comics.
Hey, kids, comics. Spin a rack.
Comics.
There was no thought for the end of this. I'm sorry. There was no thought.
Pretty much. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
No, you're going to... No! I
God,
guess...
that hurt. It hurt so bad.
Oh, by the way, Paul fell down and hurt himself. Paul, tell everybody how you hurt yourself.
I hurt myself.
But you're okay now.
Gravity is a cruel mistress.
I laughed really hard after I made sure you were okay.